Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a powerful truth. Your income will never outgrow your identity. Think about that. Most people are chasing professional growth, chasing promotions, chasing money, chasing titles, but they are ignoring the one thing that controls all of it: personal growth. If you want to change your results, you must first change the person producing those results. Because success is not something you pursue, success is something you attract by who you become. Personal growth is not just a motivational concept. In economics, it is an investment in human capital. And human capital is one of the most valuable assets in any economy. Here is the hook. You are not just a worker in the market. You are an economic asset. Your education, your skills, your mindset, your communication ability, and your experience all form your human capital. And the higher your human capital, the higher your economic value. When individuals invest in learning new skills, improving their thinking, and developing their character, they are essentially increasing their productivity. And productivity is what drives income, promotions, and economic success. Think about it this way. A machine that produces more output is worth more money. And in the same way, a person who produces more value is worth more in the labor market. Another hook is this: your salary is the market's feedback on your human capital. The more knowledge you gain, the more problems you can solve, and the more problems you solve, the more the market rewards you. Personal growth also reduces economic risk because individuals with strong skills and adaptable mindsets can survive technological change, automation, and economic crises. In modern economies, jobs change fast, industries evolve, and only those who continuously upgrade their human capital stay relevant. Personal development in areas like critical thinking, digital skills, leadership, and emotional intelligence increases employability and mobility across industries. This is why economists say education and training are investments, not expenses. Every book you read, every skill you learn, and every habit you build is like adding capital to your personal balance sheet. And here is the powerful hook. Nations grow when people grow. When individuals develop their human capital, productivity increases, innovation rises, businesses expand, and the entire economy benefits. Personal growth, therefore, is not just personal. It is economic power in action. Market value depends on personal value. And this is one of the most powerful economic principles people overlook. Here is the hook. The marketplace does not pay you for your time. It pays you for your value. Two people can work the same hours in the same company, in the same industry, yet earn completely different incomes. Why? Because the market evaluates what each person brings to the table: skills, creativity, reliability, leadership, and problem-solving ability. Personal growth increases these qualities. And when your personal value rises, your market value rises automatically. In economics, this is called value creation. And those who create more value command higher wages, stronger influence, and better opportunities. Another hook is this: effort is common, but value is rare. And rare things are expensive. When you develop advanced skills, strategic thinking, and emotional intelligence, you move from being replaceable labor to being irreplaceable talent. Companies compete for individuals who can generate results, lead teams, and innovate because these individuals directly impact profits and growth. Personal development transforms you from a cost to an asset in an organization's financial structure. As your competence increases, your bargaining power in the labor market increases, giving you leverage for higher salaries, promotions, and entrepreneurial success. The more value you can deliver, the more the market will reward you. This is basic supply and demand applied to human ability. A person with rare, high demand skills is like a scarce resource, and scarcity increases price. Personal growth also expands your ability to monetize knowledge through consulting, freelancing, leadership roles, and business ventures, turning knowledge into economic capital. Here's another hook. Your personal growth determines whether you are a price taker or a price setter. When you continuously learn, adapt, and innovate, you move from competing on price to competing on value, which is where real wealth is created. In modern economies, technology and globalization have increased competition, so only those who differentiate themselves through personal development stand out. Your mindset, communication skills, and ethical standards also shape how others perceive your value, influencing trust, reputation, and long-term economic success. Personal growth is therefore not just self-improvement. It is a strategic economic decision that directly shapes your market worth. Personal growth directly drives productivity and efficiency. And in economics, productivity is the engine of income, profit, and national growth. Here is the hook. Productivity is the currency of success, and personal growth is the mint that produces it. When individuals develop discipline, time management, focus, and learning habits, they are able to produce more output with the same or fewer resources. In economic terms, this means higher efficiency, which increases an individual's value to employers and the market. A professional who can complete tasks faster, solve problems effectively, and make smarter decisions is not just working harder, they are working smarter. And smart work is what modern economies reward. Another hook is this. Busy people are common, but productive people are wealthy. Personal growth trains the mind to prioritize, eliminate distractions, and optimize effort, which directly improves performance metrics, organizational results, and career progression. In organizations, productivity determines profitability. When an employee improves communication, leadership, and technical skills, they reduce errors, increase output quality, and enhance teamwork, all of which reduce costs and increase revenue. This is why companies invest billions in training and development programs. They understand that personal growth at the individual level translates into economic growth at the organizational level. Personal development also improves adaptability, allowing individuals to respond quickly to market changes, technological disruption, and competitive pressure. In economics, adaptability is a productivity multiplier because flexible workers and leaders can restructure processes, innovate solutions, and maintain efficiency during uncertainty. Here's another hook. Your habits are your productivity policy. Small habits like planning the day, continuous learning, and reflecting on mistakes compound into massive efficiency gains over time. Economists call this compounding productivity, where incremental improvements lead to exponential output. When individuals grow personally, they reduce wasted time, improve decision quality, and increase strategic thinking, which results in higher economic returns. Productivity is not just about speed, it is about effectiveness. And effectiveness comes from clarity, emotional intelligence, and self-awareness, key outcomes of personal growth. In modern economies, where automation and artificial intelligence are increasing, human productivity is defined by creativity, critical thinking, and leadership. These are not inherited traits. They are developed through personal growth. When individuals cultivate these capabilities, they move from routine tasks to high-value roles, increasing their income and influence. Personal growth, therefore, is not self-help. It is an economic strategy to maximize productivity and efficiency in a competitive market system. Networking and social capital are powerful economic forces, and personal growth is the foundation that builds them. Here is the hook. Your network is not just people, it is economic leverage. In economics, relationships are resources. The people you know can influence job opportunities, business deals, partnerships, investments, and information flow. But strong networks are not built by chance. They're built by communication skills, emotional intelligence, confidence, integrity, and empathy, all products of personal growth. When you grow personally, you become someone others trust, respect, and want to connect with. And trust is one of the most valuable currencies in any market. Another hook is this: skills open doors, but relationships keep them open. Personal development improves how you speak, listen, collaborate, and influence. These abilities increase what economists call social capital, the value created by relationships and social structures. Social capital reduces transaction costs because people prefer doing business with those they trust. It also increases access to information, mentorship, and opportunities that are not publicly available. Many high-paying jobs, business deals, and leadership positions are filled through networks rather than advertisements, which means personal growth directly expands economic opportunities through social connections. Here is another hook. Your personality can be your greatest asset or your biggest liability in the market. Professionals who develop emotional intelligence can manage conflicts, inspire teams, negotiate effectively, and build long-term partnerships. These skills increase their influence in organizations and industries, which leads to promotions, leadership roles, and entrepreneurial success. In contrast, individuals who ignore personal growth may have technical skills, but fail to leverage them because they cannot build relationships, communicate effectively, or earn trust. In economic terms, they suffer from underutilized human capital due to weak social capital. Personal growth also shapes reputation, and reputation is an invisible economic asset. A strong reputation attracts opportunities, clients, investors, and collaborators without active effort. In the digital economy, personal branding through professionalism, ethics, and consistent performance multiplies social capital on a global scale. When individuals invest in personal development, they become connectors, leaders, and influencers within their networks, creating a ripple effect of economic benefits. Here is the powerful hook. Relationships create opportunities, but personal growth makes you worthy of those opportunities. In modern economies, where collaboration and knowledge sharing drive innovation, individuals with strong social capital outperform those who work in isolation. Personal growth, therefore, is not just about self-improvement. It is a strategic investment in building networks that generate economic value, career, mobility, and long-term professional success. Innovation and entrepreneurship are driven by mindset, and personal growth is the engine that shapes that mindset. Here is the hook. Every breakthrough in the economy started as a breakthrough in someone's thinking. Economies do not grow because people repeat the same ideas. They grow because individuals challenge limits, take risks, and create something new. A growth mindset developed through personal learning, resilience, and self-belief turns ordinary individuals into innovators and entrepreneurs who transform industries. Another hook is this: your ideas are economic seeds, but your mindset is the soil that determines whether they grow. Personal growth encourages curiosity, critical thinking, and continuous learning, which are the foundations of innovation. When individuals invest in expanding their knowledge, they see problems as opportunities and inefficiencies as business ideas. Entrepreneurs are not born, they are developed through experience, learning, failure, and reflection. Personal development builds the confidence to take calculated risks, the discipline to execute ideas, and the resilience to persist through uncertainty. In economics, innovation increases productivity, creates new markets, and drives long-term economic growth. And all of it begins with individuals who refuse to stay mentally stagnant. Here's another hook. Comfort creates consumers, but growth creates creators. People who prioritize personal growth move beyond consuming opportunities to creating them. They launch startups, design products, build systems, and lead change. This entrepreneurial behavior generates employment, wealth, and technological progress, benefiting not only the individual, but the entire economy. Personal development in leadership, strategic thinking, and financial literacy equips individuals to identify market gaps and monetize solutions, turning knowledge into economic value. In modern global markets, disruption is constant. Industries rise and fall. Technology evolves, and competition is intense. Individuals with a growth mindset adapt faster, learn new skills, and pivot strategies, which is essential for entrepreneurial survival and success. Economists call this dynamic efficiency, the ability to adjust and innovate in response to changing conditions. Personal growth fuels this adaptability, ensuring that individuals and organizations remain competitive and relevant. Here is the powerful hook. Innovation is an economic force, but personal growth is the force behind innovation. When individuals commit to developing their thinking, creativity, and leadership, they become drivers of change rather than victims of change. Personal growth transforms employees into innovators and individuals into entrepreneurs, making it a critical factor in economic development, business success, and long-term wealth creation. Personal growth compounds over time, just like financial investment. And this is one of the most powerful economic principles applied to human development. Here is the hook. Your habits are interest, and your character is the principle. In finance, compound interest is called the eighth wonder of the world because small investments grow into massive wealth over time. In the same way, small improvements in knowledge, skills, discipline, and mindset accumulate into extraordinary professional success. When you read daily, practice consistently, and reflect regularly, you are depositing into your personal growth account. And over time, those deposits multiply into expertise, influence, and income. Another hook is this. Most people chase big results, but they ignore small improvements, the real source of big results. Economically, compounding means that growth builds on previous growth. When you learn one skill, it makes the next skill easier to learn. When you build one habit, it strengthens your ability to build another. When you improve confidence, communication becomes easier, leadership becomes natural, and opportunities expand. Each layer of personal growth increases the return on previous investments, creating exponential progress rather than linear progress. This is why early investment in personal development yields massive long-term returns in career and income. Here's another hook. Time will pass anyway, but personal growth decides whether time makes you richer or average. In economics, long-term investments outperform short-term gains, and personal growth follows the same rule. A person who improves 1% every day becomes nearly 37 times better in a year. That exponential improvement translates into higher productivity, better decision-making, stronger leadership, and greater earning potential. Small daily disciplines, reading, practicing, networking, reflecting, create a compounding advantage that separates high performers from the rest of the market. Personal growth also compounds socially and financially. As your knowledge increases, your reputation improves. As your reputation improves, your network expands. As your network expands, your opportunities multiply. Each level reinforces the next, creating a cycle of accelerating growth. Economists call this positive feedback loops, where success feeds more success. Here is the powerful hook. Personal growth is the only investment that guarantees exponential returns with zero financial risk. Money can be lost, markets can crash, businesses can fail, but the skills, mindset, and character you build stay with you forever and continue to generate value. In a rapidly changing economy, the individual who commits to continuous personal growth benefits from compounding knowledge, compounding influence, and compounding income, turning time into a powerful ally rather than an enemy. In closing, remember this: professional growth is a result. Personal growth is the cause. The world does not pay you for your potential, it pays you for your personal development turned into professional value. So invest in your mind, sharpen your skills, strengthen your character, and expand your vision. When you grow personally, the market cannot ignore you professionally. Thank you.